All right, so if you do what you want to do all the time, how do you get the things that you want to do done, but when you don't want to do them, right? So think about this. Let's just say you're like, oh, I want to, do this, launch this business. I'm creating a new, webinar and a new product to sell, and I don't want to do it, but I'd love to have that happen. I'd love to have the webinar. I'd love to have the product be live, but I don't want to do the work. I don't want to do the work to, put all that together. It's a lot of work. And right now I'm tired. It's a long day, and it's just getting started. It's my morning. It's already a long day. So how the hell do I do the things I want to do when I don't feel like doing them, right? Though I've talked about, I did a video talking about only do what you want to do. And then the funny thing is a lot of people are thinking, how do I get the things I want to do done? Because I don't want to do them, but I want to have them done. I just don't want to do them, right? I have this process I call showing up. Just show up. It's my phrase. I always say myself, just show up. And the secret is that I work on things I want to have, but on the things that I don't want to do, I just show up. So mainly what's important to me is my higher self. So for example, you've got two selves. You've got your lower self and you've got your higher self. Now, your lower self is the self that, wants to smoke. Your higher self might say, I'd love to kick the smoking habit. But your lower self will be like, oh, I need a cigarette right now. Your higher self's thinking, I don't want to have a cigarette for the next, few months or years or rest of my life. But your lower self thinking, oh, I need that nicotine right now. I need my fix. So the point is like, how do you balance doing what you want to do all the time when you've got this lower self running around creating all these problems for you by wanting things now and, not really ever wanting anything valuable in the future, just wanting to get your quick fix, whether it's coffee, cigarettes, like food, cheap food, junk food, candy, whatever it is. The point is like your lower self's going around destroying your life. So when I talk about this idea of only do the things that you want to do, it's hard for people to understand, well, how do I do a responsible life and do only the things that I want to do? And I wanted to let you know, here's how I'm balancing that. So I'm at work today. I'm actually working. I got my feet up, but I am getting stuff done. So the point is, though, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be getting this stuff done. But why am I doing it? Why am I doing it if I only do what I want to do? Because I do truly want to do this. My higher self's thinking, I want this done. I want to have, the results of this work being finished. And I'm the one here ready to do the work, right? But the thing is, I personally don't want to do the work. I'd rather go home and play video games or, take a walk in the park or, go hang out with my kids. I'd love to do any one of those things, and I'm not doing any of them right now. So why am I here? I'm here because you want to invest. Does investing feel good when you take the money out of your bank? No. It feels amazing when you get the money back. But how do people like investing when they actually make the first investment? So people like investing. Like I love investing. I know many friends of mine that love investing. Why do we love investing? It's because when we're doing it, we're visualizing the future effect, right? When we invest in the now, we're investing now. We take money out of our bank. We are never certain what will happen. But why are we excited when we do it? Why are we excited when we take the money out of the bank? We're excited because we visualize the future return as we do it. As we take the money out of the bank, we visualize the future return, right? So now think about this in your work. This will help you connect to your higher self so that you can be the best you and truly do the things you want to do. Imagine as you're working now, right here, imagine I'm investing in the future and visualize that return. Visualize the return that you're getting here right now. And then when you do this, this is an investment. It's not working, it's an investment. It's a creation of it. And that's how you change it. That's how you decide to do the things that you truly want to do. And I call them your true wants. When I say what you truly want to do, I'm speaking of your higher self and not your lower self. What your lower self is what you don't truly want. Your lower self wants things, just immediate gratification. Your higher self wants truly the best outcome, just ultimately. It wants the best outcome. And so that's what doing this now does for me. It achieves my best outcome. And then when I show up, so the secret to showing up is just getting here, just on this page. Like, I'm aware that right now I don't want to do the things I want to be doing. My lower self doesn't want to do it. My lower self wants to be busy doing something unimportant or something easy, something unchallenging, something, fun. And doesn't require effort, work, strain, intensity. But my higher self wants all that, because the fruit of investing in those things leads to a very, impactful, very valuable life, ultimate, consequences if I do the things that are challenging, scary, hard, that I don't, want to do in the moment. Those are what pay off and allow me to have a crazy, great life. And then people look at me and go, oh, how'd you get so lucky? And I'm like, yeah, it's super lucky, isn't it? Doing all the hard shit, that's called luck. But anyways, that's your life too. People say, oh, how'd you get so lucky? And then, you don't have to answer them. You can just say, to yourself, it's the hard challenges that I overcame. It's the, this thing that was almost crippling to me. It was this thing that was scaring the shit out of me, but I did it anyways. I stood up to face this giant in my path, like, David and Goliath. In your own version, your own personal David and Goliath scenarios, all of the ones that you've been through, and everyone else just sees the results and calls you lucky. That's how it always works. That's every single successful person always works that way. No one ever has any clue what the journey looked like, but everyone who's walked it always knows. And anyways, how do you walk that journey and truly do what you want to do? You do it by remembering that you're the higher self. And whenever you're feeling like the lower self, you're feeling very momentary. You're feeling very, I want to do this right now. I want to do this right now. I want to do this right now. I want to run away from this. I want to run away from that. Just remember, you truly want to be a better person than that. You truly want to be the conqueror. You truly want to be the amazing individual that climbs up over the challenges and actually creates something extraordinary, has an extraordinary story to tell. Now, imagine that I told you guys this story of me, going from here right now to the mountain over there 30 minutes away and mountain biking, downhill mountain biking. I'd love to do that right now. Now, that story might be cool for me, but if you heard it, you're like, okay, sweet. So you didn't feel like working, so you got in your truck, you got your bike, and you went up to the mountain and you rode your bike, and that's your story. And I'd be like, yes, that's my story. Now, how awesome of a story is that? Not very awesome, right? Now, what if I told you guys, I don't want to be here right now. I didn't want to work on this, but the work that I got done, it improved our conversion rate. My business is, making more money. I launched this product and, I overcame this market challenge, and I had these competitors trying to, screw me. And instead of it, I worked on this idea that I had, and although it was hard to implement and I felt like it wasn't going to work when I started, I just went ahead and started, and I eventually found a way to conquer it and get over that challenge. That's an interesting story. Now, it may not be one that you care about, but you'll care about the results. I'll be able to share those results, and you'll be like, wow, that's so amazing. And then you'll be like, how'd you get these results? Because like ignorant people say you're lucky, and then smart people say, how did you do it? And so you're a smart person, so you'd say, how did you do it? And then I tell you, well, I really didn't want to be here, and I really didn't want to be working, but I sat down and I did the grind, and I just went straight at it, and I showed up to my work, and then I just crushed it. You're like, okay, that makes sense. But that's how it works. That's truly how you do what you want to do. Is it easy? No. But does it get results? Hell yes. All right, so do what you truly want to do, and here's the secret. If you just show up, just show up. And when I say that, just get to the page, right? So like, I'm editing, the Kibli homepage right here because, we've got some updated information. And, no one's ever changed that page since we've made a few feature improvements and a few, really game-changing improvements. No one's mentioned them. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to put them on the page really well. And I specifically made this my task because, I know exactly why Amazon sellers want these features. And, although everyone else in my company, could do something like this, I'm the one who could actually explain this to other Amazon sellers. Being an Amazon seller myself personally, I understand the value of it, right? And so anyways, because of my goal to communicate, and I know that if someone else does it, it won't be communicated well, I don't want to do this. Like, I feel like someone else should be doing this. I feel like this isn't something I want to be spending time on, but, I'm right here, right now. And all I got to do is I got to click this edit button, and I'm just going to show up to the page. That's it. I'm just going to show up to the page. So I don't have a rule, you have to do any work. I don't have a rule, you have to finish this page. I don't have a rule, blah, blah, blah. I just have a rule, you got to show up and you got to start. That's it. Like literally 90% of success, they say, is just showing up. So that's why I have this rule, just show up. Whenever I got to do something, I just show up. Like I got to, change email platforms today for like 5 businesses. Super pain in the ass. Super don't want to do it, but I'm going to super show up. I'm going to get there on that page. I'm going to download the list. And as soon as I download the list, I'm going to know what my next step is. I'm going to do it. I don't, want to do it, and I'm going to tell myself, oh, I'll show up and then I'll just go, but then I don't. I always do the right thing once I get there, and you will too. You got to believe in yourself, and, really, the funny thing is that you don't have to believe in yourself in the beginning. All you got to do is just show up. Just know that that's enough. Just know that you showing up is enough. Got a problem in your Amazon business? Just show up. Need your images to be changed? Just pull them up into an editor and just look at it. You need, design, but you don't do design. Okay. Just hire a designer. Don't do anything else. Just hire a designer. You want to revamp your advertising. Don't revamp your advertising in just one day. Just go to your campaign manager and just start looking at your stats. Don't take any action. Just start looking at your stats. You know what's going to happen? You're going to be like, oh, I guess I could fix that. Yeah, I'll just do that real quick. Okay, I guess I see this problem here. I could fix that. And, oh, you know what? Like, actually, this is kind of fun. This isn't too bad. I've got nice music. It's enjoyable. That's how work works. It stops becoming work when you just show up. So do yourself a favor. Just show up. And you're going to literally have an unbelievable game change. See, I don't think there's anything... there's nothing separating me or anyone else who's been super successful, like way more successful than me, like billionaires. I'm obviously not a billionaire, and I like to think that there's nothing different than me than them, and there's nothing different from you than me. We're literally all the same. The only difference is what we do. And the billionaires, they just show up to billionaire opportunities, and I haven't done that yet. So I got to take my own advice and start doing that. My plan specifically to get there, because it is my goal, is I'm going to build these companies that I'm working on now to be great companies, and then I'm going to sell them, and then I'm going to start something else, and I'm going to be investing the whole time. So that's my plan. And in order for that plan to work, I just got to show up. And right now, my businesses aren't that great business that I want them to be before I sell them. So I got to make them that way, right? So the only way to get there, this is what I truly want, is to just show up when I don't. All right, guys, so that's how you balance it. That's how you do what you want all the time, because you got to recognize what you truly want inside, and you have to understand that life's a lot more important than happiness. It's about meaning, and meaning comes from overcoming challenges. It comes from sacrificing things you want now for greater things that you want later. That gives you a ton of meaning. Fulfillment comes from giving and from living, and from work and effort, and your energy that you exhaust, and the creation that you get from exhausting that energy and investing it in that direction. That's where your meaning and fulfillment and your whole life comes from. So the fact is that you truly do want that. You want an amazing life, then you have to have that. And that is where it comes from. It comes from understanding it's not about happiness. It's not about momentary pleasure. It's about what you truly want. And what you truly want, I'm sure, is a great journey, a great experience, a great life, and a story worth telling. All right. Appreciate you guys. See you on the next one. Subscribe and just show up. All right. See you guys on the next one. On the next one, do the same thing as you work. Just show up. But seriously, I want to leave you off with how important this is. Just show up. Plan it out. Plan out your story. Make your story right now. Stop this video. Write it down. What is your story going to be? Write the next month story. Write the next year story. Okay? Make your story. And then just show up to it. Just show up to the path. Just show up to your business. Just show up to the problem areas. And then everything's going to work itself out from there. Okay? That's enough. To just show up is enough to have everything that you want to have in your story and your journey. So do it. Just show up. I'll see you guys on the next one. Subscribe. All right. See ya.